What is up, guys? It is Connor back on the channel with another video. I am so sorry that it has been so long since I posted. I logged into my account the other day and I had a ton of messages and comments asking if I was okay. Obviously, I'm all good. I'm feeling good. I've recovered. I'm just was bored of YouTube. I didn't really have a big interest in it at the time being. There wasn't much to do on the car. I have some things to do on it. I figured I would pop back in. Let's go ahead and make a video. I want to show you guys some things on the Celica that you might need to do. I want to show you guys some cool things, some cool vacations that car guys would be into as well that I did over the summer. I'm really excited for this. Let's just get right into it. Alright guys, first thing on the agenda is updating you on this thing. Nothing has really changed on it in the time being. I've done some things to just upkeep the car. Nothing too special. Basically, the only thing I've done is that I took the rear spoiler. This is a BB lip for anybody that doesn't know. I took this off, I reattached it. That's really all I had to do was re-stick it with some 3M and readjust that. The car hasn't been driven in a while, so I just had to update that. One other thing that we did that I never showed a video on, but I do have some clips, is I added in some rear spacers to my car. I added in some 7mm rear spacers just on the outside. You don't need extended lugs for these, but it just allows for the fitment to flow a lot better. And I'm not sure if you guys can exactly see the fitment on there, but it's a lot tighter than it was. There's a little close update for you guys. That's all I've done, those two things. Haven't really touched the car, haven't driven it much, but we're gonna go ahead and dive into it and fix some things on it today. Now, here we are, guys, inside of the car. The first thing that we want to tackle today, or the only thing that we really want to tackle today, is when I turn the car on, our ABS and brake lights stay on the entire time while the car is driving. Now, this has happened ever since I supercharged the car. It's been about 1,000 miles with this happening. I've kind of ignored it for the time being. Obviously, my brakes down here, they still work just fine. My e-brake here, it grabs, it reaches. Everything is perfect with that. So I know that that's not the issue. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into another thing that might be causing this issue. Now, all right, guys, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try and jack up the car in the front end. Now, for people who aren't super low, you guys probably just have an easy time just sliding your jack under. For me, not so much. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna drive the Celica up on these two wood boards. What I like to do is put them like this. I stabilize them, and I get the wheel right between on this gap right here, so that way I can get under and I can jack up the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the car jacked up. I'll check back with you guys in a second. Now, as you guys can see, we have ample room right here to throw a jack under. It's just an easy way to work on lowered cars. I like to do 2 blocks like this and get my wheel right between them. Some people have like ramps and stuff like that. I don't have that. It's okay. Makes it so I don't have to jack up the car. So we're gonna go ahead and jack up the front end right here, get this thing on some stands, and then we'll pull off the wheels and check our ABS sensors is what we're gonna go for to try this out and see what happens. All right, guys, so I actually decided not to jack up the car because you don't actually need to. I didn't know that, but I figured it out. I figured you would have to, but all you need to do is if you're going to be working on the left side, if you guys have skinnier wheels, it's a lot easier. Mine are 9 inches wide. But on the rear side back here, you can actually access the ABS sensor. And basically what you need to do is you need to look at the back side of this plate. You will see a wire that runs down near your suspension arm. And essentially what you're going to be looking for is this right here. Now all you can see is this little sensor like this, and I'm going to go ahead and just try and clean this, and trust me on my words on it. It's just back here on the back side. You can feel it. It's one 10mm bolt, and if I come around to the front, it's about right here just on the back side. So if you go ahead and turn your wheels all the way to the right on the driver's side, you can just reach back here, you can feel it. I'm going to go ahead and do that so I don't have to take out a bunch of stuff. I pulled this apart, I cleaned it, and I'm going to reinsert it, and I'm going to see if that fixes my problem, but just by cleaning off the dirt off of that sensor. Alright guys, so figured I'd show you. This is now the passenger side. I jacked up the car. I had to take off the side skirt here. I didn't really want to, but I did from the side. I actually can't jack it up from the front. Out here on my pavement, I actually need another block, but whatever. So I'll show you what I'm doing back here. If you follow your suspension down, now this is on the passenger side. On the right side, you have a magnetic sensor that's right here in my hand. Now this goes down into this little hole right here. So as you can see, here we go. There's the rotor, and on the back side you have a little hole where this goes into right there. So unfortunately, what I've been dealing with the last little bit is I actually snapped this bolt. So I had to extract out the right side, this little bit right here from the hole, snapped it up here. Been dealing with that for a little bit now, but we finally got it out. I have a replacement that can go into here, just a spare bolt that I had laying around. And we're gonna go ahead and spray this tip off so the sensor is nice and clean now. Should be at least. I sprayed it, and we're gonna hope that that fixes the issue. I'm just gonna go ahead and reinstall that, put the wheel back on, get everything back to normal. All right, probably pretty dark, but as you guys can see, hopefully this is now installed again. It's hard to do it out here in the sunlight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow this wire up the side, mates the suspension right here, U-bends around again, goes up into the wheel well right here, and there's a plug right there. So we're gonna unplug that. We're gonna use some QD contact cleaner and make sure that we clean it all out. Hopefully, it seems like there's a lot of dirt. I haven't gone through this part of the car in probably over a year, a couple of spider webs and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and clean this sensor, make sure that all the contact points are good. I'm gonna do that on the other side, repeat it just to be sure. And then we're gonna trace this wire and make sure that this is plugged in on the inside. So after we clean this, we're gonna jump over to the engine bay and figure out what's going on. All right, guys, so I've traced the ABS line over here. This is one of the sensors from the passenger side, and it comes over into the module right here. I checked the connections just to be sure. I've also opened up my fuse box here, and this 40 amp right here and this 25 amp right here both control ABS. These two, there's one right there, one right there. Pulled those, verified that those are shorting out between themselves, so I know that those fuses are all good. I did not check the fuses before I started because I read somewhere that I believe this sensor was the cause for it, so I immediately started there. I should have started with the fuses, but I checked those two, and there is one more ABS sensor on the inside here, inside of the passenger side. Now, if you guys take a look at your diagram here, the one that the car comes with, it is 13, 14, 15, and 16 is a multi-fuse, and 15 right here is our ABS. Right here in the bottom corner, you guys can see it. And what these are these multi-fuses, and these are dumb expensive to find. So if you ever see any, make sure you pick some up. You can find them at the junkyards. If you go and there's a junkyard Celica, I highly recommend pulling these things and paying for them. They're much cheaper at the junkyard than they are to order new. So on my system, what I found is that my fuse was actually broken. So we're gonna go ahead and replace it with a new one, a spare that I have on hand in my toolbox, and we're gonna see if that will go ahead and fix the problem here. All right, guys, you might hear the car is on behind me. It's a new day. I'm in a new shirt. I'm cleaned up, sort of. Haven't taken a shower today. It's actually my birthday. I wanted to go take this thing out and just cruise around, but I wanted to update you guys. The issue of fuses is now fixed. Now, I know it's probably a little bit loud. My car is on. The exhaust is always a little bit loud. I got a neighbor doing some yard work, but I'll show you guys over here. Car is currently running. We'll come in here. You can see my RPMs are going. We have no light at all, which is amazing. I feel really stupid for checking the fuses last. Usually I always recommend to do the fuses first. I got a little bit ahead of myself and pulled some stuff apart, but at least the sensors are good. We know that. This was just a fuse issue, so definitely get yourself some multi-fuses on spare to have by, and definitely always check your fuses if you can. Other than that, I did show you guys how to change out those sensors if you need to, but typically it seems like they don't go bad. I'm really glad that it was just the fuses here. I drove the car around for a while, no light on it. I feel really stupid. It's been about 50 miles of me driving. Haven't had any issues. I topped off the brake fluid again after working on it a little bit. It was a little bit low. My brake light went away. My ABS light is gone. Just a reminder, always start with the fuses. I feel like such an idiot for pulling it apart. I didn't need to, and it was just that little fuse right there. You can see on that one, we're totally broken. So if you guys can, go get yourself some of these. Always keep them on hand because they do break, and they're hard to find, these multi-fuses. So go get yourself one, and remember, always check your fuses before you start working on your car. Now, before we close out on this episode, I just want to show you guys something that was kind of special to me. It's something that I wanted to do for a while, and I got to do it by myself. It would have been cooler with friends, but I was in the area. I wanted to check it out, and that is going to the Bonneville salt flats. And I shot a little bit of clips while I was there, But I highly recommend, if you guys are car guys, go out there. It's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. You can just drive. I mean, you get salt all over your car, so definitely be prepared to wash it. If you have a rental, I'm not gonna say that you can do whatever you want in a rental, but you're in a rental. If you do bring your own car out there and make a trip, just be sure to wash out your chassis. Everything gets salty no matter what. But it was probably the coolest thing ever. And if you guys are out there in the Utah area, go check out the Bonneville salt flats. I'll roll on those clips. Check it out. Today marks 15 days since my first symptom of coronavirus. I've been cleared to travel outside while maintaining social distancing. So we're gonna go ahead and get outside and explore some of Utah. We're gonna go to the Bonneville salt flats, which I'm super excited about, and I wanna bring you guys along for the ride. Let's get to it. Well, gentlemen, we made it to the Bonneville salt flats. There it is. It looks like snow. I've never been out here before. Pretty crazy. It just looks like snow. Everybody's out here kind of driving around. You can see a car right there. A couple people over there. We're gonna go ahead and get out right here. Hopefully we're not in the way of anybody. We're gonna get out and check this out. It's pretty cool. Alright guys, this has got to be one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life being out here. It is so weird that this is so flat. It looks like snow. It's 88 degrees outside. This thing is saying, let's see if the phone will go away. This thing is saying it's 90 degrees outside and it looks like snow on the ground. It is literally the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. If you guys are from Utah, you probably think I'm crazy because this is so, probably normal for you guys, but it's so weird. Check this out. We can just drive on it. Nobody's bugging us. We're just out here. I mean, you can literally, there's like no rules. I've seen people just like driving 80 miles per hour on this stuff already for the little time that I've been sitting here. We're gonna go out and see if we can find some spot to send up the drone and get a little bit away from people. It seems like there's a lot of people right here, but check this out. We could just go. Right now we're doing 20 miles per hour. I could just step on it if I want. It doesn't even matter because nobody's around here. This is the weirdest thing ever. It's so cool. Alright guys, we're out for the second time. A little bit further away from people now. This is my rental car. I really wish I had something that was a rear-wheel drive, but we have to. If you guys have never seen it, this is it at like ground level. Here's the ground right here. It's like snow, but it's just hard, you know? Like it's sticking to my hand. I've never seen this stuff before, so this is cool to me. Check that out. It's salt. Look at how weird that is. That's so cool. We've got all this place to ourselves right here. The whole thing. How cool. Alright guys, I'm kneeling behind the car. I'm trying to get out of the wind so you guys don't hear it. It's 40 mile per hour winds right now, which is pretty crazy. I'm sure you guys can hear it on the camera, but this is the weirdest thing ever. The salt, super salty. I tried it, of course, I had to. It's wet. Like if you sit on the ground, it's a little bit wet, but this is just the weirdest thing ever. It's like another planet out here. I'll show you guys again how cool this is. You guys can see the salt. It looks like I just drove through snow, but that's just all salt on the tire. Isn't that weird? Look at that. Luckily this is a rental, it's not my car, but I'd be worried if it was. Check that out. It literally looks like another planet. It's so weird. Like I said, we got the whole place to ourselves. So cool. Let's go ahead and get the drone up. I want to see this. Alright guys, sorry it's so windy out there, but I just want to try this. It's so cool, but you have to be in the car in order to record. I don't have my microphone on these trips, but it's whatever. So I have to see. Okay, so we're gonna put this in sport mode, which I don't know how good the Ford Fusion sport mode is, but let's just have some fun. Let's just see what this thing does. Okay, so alright, it's slow. Very little traction on the salt. Make sure nobody's in front of us. Check this out. We're just cruising right now. 60 miles per hour on the salt. Look at that. I can feel the wheels are slipping because it's a little bit wet. And the car just wants to drift. It's so weird. It doesn't want to go straight at all. Hitting the brakes is a little bit weird too. I'm like pumping them. I can feel them slipping. So you kind of just have to like let this thing roll. Luckily, like I said, nobody's in front of us. Look, there's some tire marks right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Somebody did like a burnout on the salt. I don't know how you do that. Look at this whole thing to yourself. You can just come out here. There's no rules. I just drove out here. The little sign that lets you come out here, it just says come on out and do whatever you want. Look at this thing. Look at this. Wow. Yeah, I make noises while I drive. It's okay. Look at this though. You can do whatever you want. Here's somebody who did a bunch of donuts. They messed up all the salt. I don't know if you guys can see that. You could tell, like, it's got cracks in it. It looks like dragon scales almost. And then as soon as somebody drives over it, you just have a ton of tire marks on it. We're gonna make our way out here. I think this looks pretty cool. Maybe we'll flip around too. I'll show you guys. Look how fun that is. You can just slide your car all around. I really wish I had a rear-wheel drive car to have some fun in this thing, but it's okay. You get what you get. I'm still happy that I got to come out here, even though I was sick a few weeks ago. I'm glad I got to come out to Utah. So let's go ahead and hop outside and see what the view looks like. All right, so this place is insane. I don't think I've ever been to a place like this, and I can't really articulate my words for how cool this place is. But this is like a car guy's paradise. There's no rules. The road is super flat except for like a few rocks that you can totally see. You can kind of do whatever you want because nobody's out here right now. I'm not sure how busy it gets normally, but this is a Sunday and it's empty. There's nobody out here. I mean, I'm sitting in the middle of the flat. I flew my drone. I'm eating right now. It's also important to like drink water out here because it's very salty in the air. I can taste it. But man, this is insane. This is the coolest thing ever. All right, you guys can kind of see I'm really sweaty. It's 90 degrees. The car is a little bit warmer than that, I think. Being out, I was just walking around out there and it's super hot out here. So if you guys come out, do be wary of the temperature. I hear it can get very hot here. And it's only an 85 to 90 degree day outside, but on the salt flat, it feels really hot when the sun comes out. So if you guys do visit this place, be sure to bring a lot of water, bring a lot of supplies, because there's nothing out here. When you Google Maps it, you know, it just takes you to this road, this rest stop, and there's not much out here. So make sure you guys bring supplies. If you guys are gonna run your car super fast, I do recommend talking to the park. It looks like they have races and stuff. I see it set up for that. And if you guys do want to come out here by yourself, make sure that you guys wear a helmet or something like that, because even doing 60 miles per hour out here was pretty sketchy. The car was slipping. The brakes weren't grabbing. So if you guys do come out here, do be sure to be safe, please. I don't want to be in trouble for you guys finding this place out and wanting to come out here and then hurting yourselves. Well, you guys can see the day's kind of coming to an end right now. It's 6:52. Got about an hour and a half drive home. I think I'm going to wrap up here. The weather conditions for this place were nice. It was nice to be out here, but it really wasn't what I was looking for. I was trying to find some water out here. It looks like it hasn't rained in a while. The clouds are just too intense that I don't think the sunset's going to be nice. I was going to try and take a picture and do all sorts of stuff, but really don't see it happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the car. You can see this stuff looks like snow. So weird. So I'm going to take this out and clean it off and clean my feet off. I changed into pants because it was getting so windy that my legs were getting cold, but it is still like 90 degrees out. It's the weirdest thing. But this was a cool experience to come see. I'm really happy that I came out here, and hopefully you guys kind of found it interesting to come see this stuff. It's pretty cool. Man, I just can't stress to you guys how beautiful this place is. It is one of the most vast things I've ever seen. I don't know how to explain it. I want to explain it, but man, you guys just gotta come here. If you're ever in the area of Salt Lake City or like driving through Nevada or something like that, like pull over, come this way, check this place out. Bring a car, drive out here and see what it's like. It's like a beach, but sand. It's so cool. You guys gotta try it. Now you guys saw that there was trash out there, which I don't know why you would come all the way out here and leave a Tupperware and like a LaCroix can, but man, if you guys see trash, just pick it up. Like, these places are so beautiful, and we really don't need that. If you guys see trash out there, just pick it up, man. Take it to a gas station, take it to somewhere and just throw it away. Like, it makes the world so much better. And just like that, we're gonna say goodbye to the Bonneville Salt Flats. It was a really cool experience. Definitely would come back here again, bring some people. I think it was so cool. But you know, we already gotta hit that sport, and we gotta go ahead and go for it. Yeah, this thing's slow. Not fun at all, guys. Not fun at all. If you come, bring a faster car. This thing ain't even worth it. Now, I just wanted to jump back in before I end the episode and just want to thank you guys for all the support that you gave me while I was taking a little bit of a break. I had a lot of people reach out to me and ask if I was okay. I really appreciate that. I do want to get back to making videos, so I'm going to jump on that. I have some time. We're going to work on this thing more. We're going to drive it around. I know a lot of you guys want to see it driving around, want to see it racing. We're going to go ahead and do that. I have the time. I have the equipment. We're going to go ahead and do it. Now everything is running. Everything is squared away. I feel confident that we have ABS and everything like that. Hopefully we can get out to some track days. With coronavirus, it's still super busy out there. Everybody's kind of doing it because they have the time right now. Hopefully we can log in and get some reservations to go to one. If not, we'll just take it around, and I'm gonna definitely show you guys some more driving around in this thing because it screams. It's really fun, and I know a lot of you guys want to see it. So see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.